Hi, I'm Sam Weeb, and this video is brought to you by MysteryWritingMastery.thinkific.com, which is an online school for mystery writers. And today we're going to walk through a grow up together. This is a piece of footage which I shot years and years ago, walking through a house which had been gutted and turned into a grow up, which is, for those of you who aren't in the know, a illegal marijuana processing and cultivating shop, and had been raided by the police. So there's a slightly embarrassing personal story behind this clip. When my grandparents died, their house, which they'd lived in for years, was put on the market. And about a year and a half later, they got contacted by the police saying that the house had been used as a grow-up. So someone had moved into my grandparents' house, gutted it, turned it into a grow-up, and I believe that the police were put onto this by the spike in electricity usage. When we got there, the family, the raid was over, and the person who'd rented the place was nowhere in sight. I mean, they just split. So obviously it was a beard who had rented this and then split, and the people who had actually done the growing were nowhere to be found. And the house was ruined. I mean, it was totally trashed. So this was a video that I shot, 20-year-old Sam walking through this place that I had very fond memories of. So let's take a look through it together. So this was my grandparents' bedroom. Obviously not their bed. I mean, this has all been, their stuff had been taken out. You can see a mirror. So people were living here, and obviously not very clean people. But this is a place that people lived to maintain and run the grow up. You can see a plastic cooler, so they had food coming in. All sorts of things. And the outside of the house had the hedges grown up so that you couldn't really see who was coming or going into the property. So that's the second bedroom there. This is the hallway. Again, this is the upstairs. So that carpet was absolutely destroyed. They had dogs and like giant Rottweilers or whatever to guard the grow up, and they just scarred the shit out of the floor. Bathroom. So obviously you can see the drawers open, like the cops had gone through and just ransacked looking for evidence. So there's not much, everything's in disarray here, and I don't know what they found to prosecute these people. But the guy on the lease was just a beard. So he was just the guy that leased it, and I don't know if he was ever prosecuted at all. This is the kitchen, or the little dining nook that leads out to the porch, the back porch. This floor, again, just absolutely destroyed by dog claws and dirty with plants and all sorts of stuff. The kitchen actually is surprisingly neat. I mean, I guess this was the area where people were living or staying. This is the living room. So this is where my grandparents used to have their TV and all that stuff. And you can see tables set up. And I think a lot of the supplies were just kind of brought up here. So maybe the bundling was done here. Couches, because, you need to relax after a hard day's cultivation. The stairs, and you can see the front door with the piece of wood in front of it. And also you can sort of see the red tape, the do not cross police tape that they put up. Obviously this wasn't, this was a crime scene, but it was just sort of sealed off. So they bash in the door, and then it's up to you to fix it. Like, the owners of the property have to pay for all of this. So this was a tremendous expense. So we're coming downstairs, and the tiled floor down here was even worse than upstairs. Very stained, and there are still some yellow stains from my my grandparents' bulk purchases of onions and potatoes and stuff. But shop vac, so we were in the process of cleaning it up, or my uncle was. but you can see the doors on the little downstairs sink have been knocked off. Yeah, just it was really crazy to see this. And you can see a lot of the wall, like the drywall had been taken off and extra insulation had been put up. In some cases, yeah, so this is a shelf. So this is into one of the grow-up rooms, and there were more plants out there too. I think depending on the stage they were at, and whether they needed the lamps and the what do you call it, the hydroponic system. It depends on where they had them. But you can see like the giant exhaust tube and stuff. The white stuff you see on the ground is, I think it's calcite. I mean, this is a sophisticated growing operation. So these people actually know a lot about horticulture, which is something you don't really give people credit for. But it's a business, and they're growing a crop, and the yield and the health of the plant is really important. That's dirt, I think. I hope, because I'm about to step in it. And then here, this is the room where you can really see the, they built shelves. Each shelf had tons of pots, and that weird gray oatmeal colored stuff is the insulation. So that was torn down. You can see the ventilation system and the electricity that they hooked up here. And that's one of the things, is that like this was a pretty residential neighborhood. Kind of out in the country. Yeah, so there's the calcite and the, the soil. And you can see just, they were really taking care of that. This is just a shot of the leading out to the backyard. And it's quite an overgrown backyard. So people who are going around the exterior of the house might have no idea that this was all going on. And like I said, it was usually the power which gave it away. So there you have it. That's a tour through a grow up, and obviously you can see much more in-depth stuff on YouTube, but probably not as personal in most cases. And as I said, this is not a world that I grew up in, but it was just an interesting thing that happened to our family, and definitely affected the resale price of that house. And if you know Lower Mainland Vancouver real estate, you know that that's a significant amount of money. So I hope you enjoyed this. This is brought to you by MysteryWritingMastery.Thinkific.com. If you go over to our page, you can sign up for Beginning Your Mystery, which is a free online course about finding and developing ideas for mystery novels.